Hello beautiful souls and welcome. My name is Alyssa and this is my New Direction channel. We are doing things a little bit differently on this channel. I am doing situational reads and not maybe necessarily the typical horoscope, monthly horoscope reading. Not that I won't in the future, but kind of just in the beginning stages of finding the courage to even put your videos out there and stuff. This is kind of just, I guess, the way that I'm easing myself into this. I am not, I'm not a professional. I am just merely a person along, who's just traveling down her path, and this is just kind of the direction that, I'm being encouraged to go. So we're going to pull from about 5 different decks today. We're going to start off with the Light Seers, and this is a deck from Chris Ann, and I absolutely love this deck. The pictures on this deck and just the way they shuffle, and it's just, it's such a beautiful deck. It's the Light Seers, so I find it super positive. And when I find that when we come to tarot, in the beginning, or I think even as like I'm a regular tarot card reader, video watcher, like this is definitely where I have found direction for a lot of things in my life, and I mean, it's not, you have to understand it's not, okay, well, it's not black and white, and just because this person said it, that's not exactly the way I have to go. No, you have to apply, these are general readings for the most of it. So you do need to apply them into aspects of your life, where they fit. Don't go and stick yourself in a dangerous relationship because you're like, well, Alyssa said it was fine. No, that's not what I'm saying. You have to use thought, and you have to, put the realistic, what's that? What am I trying to say there? You just need to be realistic, I guess, about, what you hear in a reading and how you apply it to your life. If you're putting yourself in danger by any means, that is not the way to go. So let's get right into it. I've kind of just, went off key there. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to ask Spirit for kind of some direction. Some of the other videos I kind of already had a guideline or an idea of where I was going with it, right? And this one we're just we're gonna wing it. We're gonna ask Spirit kind of what direction we're going, and then we're gonna ask for the current energy of the collective, and sorry, I'm having a bit of a brain fart this morning. So anyway, we're going to ask for, let's just start, and we'll start. We'll ask for our direction of this reading and where we're going from there, and we'll just keep winging it, I guess. Okay, Spirit, what is the direction of this reading? What is the subject of this reading, Spirit? What do you have to tell the collective for this reading? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so let's see. Okay, the Hierophant is at the bottom of this deck. So this is a spiritual reading. This is, by spiritual, I mean your connection to spirit. That is what the base of this reading is off of. Whether it is you looking for a new spiritual connection, or you strengthening your spiritual connection, that's kind of where we're at here. So the 3 cards that I pulled for the situation were the Ace of Cups, the 7 of Wands, it's a beautiful card, my friends, and the Devil. Okay, so this is telling me that you are starting this brand new Ace of Cups. This could be a new relationship. This could be a new, it's a new project of some sort, and cups are more of an emotional level. So with the Hierophant at the bottom, I'm kind of thinking this is definitely more of a, this is where I, as a ace, it's a beginning, right? So in the Hierophant at the bottom, just give me a second here with these for a sec. So to me, this is with the Hierophant at the bottom and the Ace of Cups, Seven of Wands, and the Devil. This is really saying you're at this new beginning of wanting that spiritual connection, maybe figuring out how, you know, the divine plan fits into your life, especially with the Devil at the end. I mean, you know, we all have our attachments to things in life, and there is, you know, we can walk a day and say, oh, well, I'm trying to be a better person. And along that day, you know, there's 8 different, you know, paths that you're like, oh, that's a dark path, that's a dark path. And, you know, we might not always be able to avoid those paths, but the Devil at the end of this is really saying that you are having some really hard attachments to going forward in this new step, whether it's because all of your friends and family around you are, you know, maybe like, oh, we're not doing that kind of spiritual journey. And you're like, okay, but I'm brand new and I want to start this, right? So this Ace of Cups, so this is your brand new beginning, whatever the case may be, whether it's a spiritual, you know, a new spiritual journey, maybe a new outlook. Maybe this is the first time, you know, maybe you've never been a spiritual person. This is the first time that you're like even coming to the whole idea that, okay, there's something bigger and greater out there for me, and this is the way, you know, this is my cup. This is my cup that I'm offering to kind of, you know, this is my cup that I'm looking to have filled. This is my cup that I'm bringing forth as a new beginning, and I'm wanting to do something with it. The Seven of Wands behind that is there are going to be a lot of haters. Even when you are on a good, solid spiritual journey, there will be haters. I think sometimes people who are actually spiritually moving themselves are actually, you know, changing themselves for a better, right? Like coming to that higher intuition or that higher purpose, that higher calling in your life. And there are always people in your life who are going to be like, oh, I don't like that growth. We're going to shut you down. I'm going to damper that out because your light's too bright and I don't like it, right? That's this Devil card. That's those negative, low vibration energies that are in this world, right? And they will try, no matter what, they will try to damp you. But this Seven of Wands, see how this girl, she looks like she's almost sitting in a snow globe, you know, but she's not. This is her orb that she has created around herself. And you can see at the bottom here, can you see that? See all those wands? And they're like spewing their shit all out and around her. But see how safe she is? She has her solar plex is just brimming. You know, it is glowing, and she is blocking out the haters. She is in her peace. There's so much inspiration and color in this globe behind her. And she is just like, no, this is where I am, and I am solid in this. And she is reflecting back into herself, and that is super important. Okay. So let's see, what is the collective energy? What is the collective energy around this new beginning? Wow, okay, so the Hierophant fell out, followed by the Strength in the World. So, and this was at the bottom of the deck. This is what this base of this reading is all about, right? So there is huge spiritual growth. Whether you have been a spiritual person or you have not, you are definitely looking for this enlightenment. You're searching for this stairway to this connection, the stairway to this higher power of thinking. And the Strength card is behind that. This is a beautiful Strength card. If you can see here, you know, she is half a face of a lion and half a face of this beautiful girl, but she's quietly petting this lamb. And this is not a Strength card of like big, brawn, bold moves. This is a Strength card of inner strength. And it takes a lot to find that inner strength after this Hierophant. To be solid in a spiritual journey, to be solid spiritually, no matter where you are in life, this is a challenge because there are so many low vibration energies out there that are trying to bash this, okay? But behind that Strength card is this World card. And this girl, like, man, look at her. She has her own dream catcher. You know, she has it all. This is wholeness. Like, she is whole in this circle. You know, she has come full circle from wherever she's been, from whatever she's gone through. She has had this connection to spirit. She's had this enlightenment. She is strong in herself. And I say she, but it's she or he, okay? It's not gender oriented. It's a general reading. So sorry, boys, I might say she more than not. And that's, I'm not dissing you. I'm not, no, I'll work on that, okay? Okay, so either way though, this person has come full circle to, you know, where they started out, they've connected spiritually, and now they've come full circle. I need you to pause. My Nova is scratching at the door, and if I don't get her, she will just continue to scratch. Hold on 1 second. Come on. Okay, no barking. Go lie down, please. Okay, sorry guys. She's a tiny little Jag Terrier, and she can't decide whether or not she wants in or out. Okay, so we are going to pull the next 3 cards. So that was your current energy towards this. Oh, sorry. We are going to pull 3 more, and they are going to be, let me look at my notes here. Okay, sorry. I picked up the deck and the 8 of Wands was left sitting on the table. So I am going to put this back in the deck, but I did want to show you. This is change. See how these things are all just sparking together? They look like a whole bunch of sparklers. You know when you put sparklers together and everything's just like they all, if you have one sparkler and you put them with all the other ones, they all of a sudden psst, and everything goes. That's what this is. You know, this is change and this is happening. This is change happening now. Whether it's within you or whether it's in your situation, whatever the case may be, it's happening. It's happening, babe. Okay, so we are going to pull some cards. We're going to pull some clarity cards. We're going to pull 3 clarity cards on who you are. And they just came right on out here. Holy smokes. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, the 8 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. 8 of Swords. 10 of Swords. So like that 8 of Wands, guys, there's change, babe. There's change, and you can't even help yourself. You know it's coming. So this Wheel of Fortune, right? Like, see how she's got the white spirit and she's got the dark spirit. Because in life, everything, there's always going to be good and bad. And you really do need both to be able to weigh yourself out in life. You can't just have all the good, because when you have all the good, how do I say that? You need to have the bad to be able to really appreciate the good. You know, there needs to be that balance of light and dark. That's the yin and the yang, right? Like that's how the world works. I'm a Libra, so believe me, like balance to me, I'm just like, oh yeah, duh, balance. Everybody should be balanced. But I understand that there's not everyone is a Libra, and not everyone is, you know, as obsessed with a balanced kind of, you know, whole as I am. So, you know, this Wheel of Fortune is really saying there's change. And when it's followed by this 8 of Swords, see this girl sitting at the bottom, and she's staring into this reflection, right? And this reflection, this girl in this reflection, she's tied, she's blindfolded, she's bound. She is literally just trapped in whatever pains may be, whether it's self-doubt, whether it's fear, whether it's old relationships, whether it's family traumas, whatever the case may be. This girl sitting at the floor looking in this mirror only sees this trapped reflection. You know, and the 10 of Swords is after that, and that is just cutting that shit loose. That is walking away from things that don't serve you. And this does not serve you. This is not going to get you where you need to be. This and this definitely are. But you sitting in that trapped phase like, oh, I'm just never going to get out of this, or I'm bound to all of the shit that has happened in my life. Nope, not at all. Because change is coming. Change is here. You cannot prevent that. And this is upward, so this is good change. Like, you are healing. You are healing. You are moving forward. You are healing. Okay. Spirit, can we get some clarifiers on this change? What is the change coming for the collective? Is the change coming for the collective in this journey? What is the change coming, Spirit? What is the change coming for the collective? What is the change coming? Thank you, Spirit. Oh boy, thank you. Okay, that was a few. Okay, holy smokes. All right, so there's the Two of Cups. This is a lover's card, but this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. You know, this can be support. This could be, it was right below this Hierophant. So this could be somebody who is helping you, encouraging you along this new step, this new spiritual enlightenment journey that you are walking on, okay? This is two hands, and see how they, oh my gosh, I love this card. But see how they are literally just, they're together, they are making this rainbow of magic, and it is just filling both of their cups, you know? And this is really saying that whether it's a romantic connection or just that connection of, you know, of somebody that you're working with to manifest a beautiful beginning, you know, and that, as I said, that could be a spiritual journey. Like, this is not, to me, this isn't a very romantic reading at all. This is a personal growth reading, and where you have come to this enlightenment and you have come forward with your Ace of Cups and you're like, I'm ready. This is saying that something is coming to really, you know, to really help you. There is going to be, whether it's a hand of another spiritual leader, whether it's, you know, YouTube videos and stuff like that, there is going to be that connection for you that is really going to help you move forward. You know, that you are going to find solid strength behind. The Ten of Wands was behind that Two of Cups. And again, tens, like, this girl has packed up her shit and she's heading out, because what is here has no longer served her. She has gone full, complete cycle to whatever the past situations may be, and she's going forward. And this card too, the Ten of Wands, can also be about helping people or asking people to help you along that journey. You know, she's got this ox here, and this ox is helping her carry her things down the mountain, right? And to me, that card is really, especially behind that Two of Cups, is really saying, don't be afraid to ask. You know, if you have questions or you are unsure, you're never going to find unless you continually ask, right? Continually ask, continually put yourself out there. The Nine of Wands was behind the Ten of Wands, which this girl, she is just standing in her own power. She has come so stinking far. She really has, to be this tall, towering, strong human being holding her own light, just standing there. And she is like, okay, I have made it through the crap, but here I am. Here I am. You know, I have put the time in, I have put the effort in, I have made the right steps, and I am at the end of that hard journey. I am at the end of it, because whatever the case may be, I have come full circle. You know, you have the 10 and the 9, hun. Like, you have come full circle to this awakening, to this need to have something else, this need to grow something else. And I say grow because the Ace of Pentacles was behind, that was behind it. So it's funny because the way they're all lined up here in a row, you got the Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, Two of Cups. Ooh, he's upside down. He doesn't need to be upside down. Two of Cups, and then this Ace of Pentacles. Hello? This is such a solid, realistic 3D beginning. This is something you can feel in your hands, you know? And I think sometimes we're like, oh, but it's emotional. How do I feel spiritual, emotional? You do. You do. When you have that Ace of Cups and that Hierophant, and you are ready to go and ask the Spirit to fill that cup up, you're going to feel it. The Ace of Pentacles, whatever comes from what this is divine. This is real. Ooh, sorry, guys, I'm getting excited. I'm throwing cards all around. They're sliding all over my table. I'm excited. You know, I am. I'm so excited for you. You are just, you're on this brand new beginning, and holy, you're kicking ass, and I love it. I love it. Okay, so this brand new beginning, this is a tangible beginning. This is something that you're going to feel, you're going to see, you know, and when we start adding spirit, when we start adding a higher power or a higher thought process to our lives, we ultimately live a better life. We ultimately show up to be a better person every day. And I mean, that's not, you know, just being like, you know, how do I describe that? Okay, so to me, that's not, Like, that's not saying like, oh, well, I have to live, by so-and-so, and I am doing, I've read my Bible and I've done this and I've done this. No, life is not black and white like that. And neither is religion. And people who are going to try to preach that religion is black and white clearly need to go back and do some reflection on the religion, because that's not the case, okay? You are your own person. And no matter which way you are going, no matter how you are taking it, no matter who, what, when you pray to whatever you pray to, this is saying that you will actually tangibly feel this new beginning. Whether it's inside, whether it's out, just your whole mind frame changes, and then the things around you, become more, more 3D, and you can actually be like, wow, okay, my life is actually, it was pretty shitty or whatever the case may be, but I can see these beautiful brand new beginnings. The Page of Cups was behind that Ace of Pentacles, and that is saying bringing childlike enthusiasm to this. Bring that whole new, look at how creative he is. I mean, he's dreaming of pigs flying, right? And he's got there's these little hands back here with a little heart, okay? So there is just so much potential and enthusiasm there to create whatever the heck he wants to manifest, okay? And the Temperance was behind that. So this is, this is balance. This is balance. This is your emotional and your life, the spiritual world and the real life world. This is them balancing out and really figuring out the ebb and the flow of how you can, balance this new spiritual life and this new and your current, everyday life. The Temperance is really bringing that back in for you. At the bottom of that deck, oh my goodness, Two of Wands. Okay, look at her. She's looking out the window. There is so much inspiration out there. This could be about travel. This could be about relocation, whatever the case may be. She's got 2 wands, 2 directions, 2 options, Look at it. Look at your options. Look at where you're going and be like, okay, what's going to serve me down this road and what's going to serve me down this road? The 2 of Wands is all about creativity, right? It's all about that brand new outlook on where you're going, with a whole new mindset and a whole new, direction or way of thinking or whatever the case may be. That is what that is saying. The 5 of Cups followed that. So that she's pouring all of her sadness. See this little hole? Can you see that? See her tears? Her sadness is she is just getting rid of it. Getting rid of it. Because the moon's behind that. There are things at play. There's always things in the shadows, right? And those can be good things. Those don't have to be bad things. Oh, the Page of Wands is behind that. Look at that. Look at how, this girl is just giving, just throwing that, wand of creativity up in the air. She's come full circle. She is ready to kick some serious ass on where she's going. Oh, he or she. Okay. So when I picked up that deck, the Ace of Wands was at the bottom. So I'm just going to point this one out because this is such a beautiful cup. This is another brand new beginning, but notice where this beginning is. See that light? See that stairway that's going right down into this, that's intellect, right? That is a whole new, brand new thought process for you, and whether or not this is the first time that you maybe have ever even come to the spiritual, conclusion that, okay, I need something higher in my life. Or maybe you are a person who has grown up in a spiritual family or whatever the case may be, and you're like, you know what it is, how, you know the rules, the black and white, but you're trying to figure out, or you're open to this new possibility of, okay, but how does that work in my life? How does all of what I have, maybe been taught or learned growing up, how does that actually reflect into my life? Because I'll be honest, I grew up in a Mennonite church, okay? A Mennonite church, not horse and buggies, not that quite far, but a very old-fashioned church, sang in the choir kind of girl. My mom was a Sunday school teacher, okay? There are teachings and ways, that I grew up with that don't necessarily fit into where I am now. And that's not, that's not moral based. That's not moral based. It's just, it's not as black and white, I think, as what I was taught to believe, that it has to be this way or this way. That's not the case. I had somebody tell me the other day, how do you make God laugh? Well, you tell him your plans, right? Of course. And that is just, to me, that is, we are so hell-bent on this is how it has to be. This is how you spiritually have to connect and blah, 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 blah. That is untrue. You find you, and you find the people and the connection that are going to bring you to where where you find that, that connection. That's what it's about. Okay, so we are moving right along here. We are going to pull cards from the Wild Unknown, and we're just going to pull 3 or 4 cards of unknown factors some unknown factors into this situation for the collective. Spirit, what are some unknown factors? What are some unknown factors? Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay. I will say this probably in every single reading you ever watch, but I love bottoms of the decks. I do. The Judgment card is at the bottom. This is, you are on the right path. Oh my goodness. Followed by the 2 of Swords. So there's definitely, you're blocked. You're unsure of really where and how to get to this. There's a blockage. But behind that 2 of Wands was the 3 of Cups, and that's community. This is finding people, finding a fellowship with the same values, with the same, maybe not exactly the same thoughts. I mean, everybody is, their own free person and stuff, but that is definitely, there's definitely, sorry, trying to straighten these all out. That is telling me that really this judgment and your unsurety here, your blockages here, just find the people who are going to help you maybe see or understand, maybe a different light to things. Community. This is friendships. This also could be a new love opportunity coming in. But once again, I'm not really feeling that this is so much a romantic love reading. This is more, you're just kicking ass and moving forward in life, and I love that. I really do. The Empress card was behind that 3 of Cups. So, baby, you're right where you need to be. You really are. Okay, so as unknown factors, the 7 of Swords came out, the 6 of Swords, the Death card, and the Fool card. Okay, so there's definitely been some things that, maybe have not been straight up. There's been some secrecies, there's been some deceit, you've maybe been left to feel kind of out in the dark. But this 6 of Swords that follows, see those 6s sitting down in the bottom and this rainbow up top? Because the 6 of Swords is just, it's the transformation from the hard times to this beautiful new beginning. It's the process through all of the shit and all of the baggage and all of those learning curves and things. That stuff's not easy. This 7 of Swords is never this can be you just, not being truthful to the information maybe that, maybe you did grow up in a family that, you know the divine plan, or not necessarily the divine plan, but of the divine, of the higher callings, of those things, and you ignored it because, in your mind, you're like, yeah, but that looks really boring and I want to go this way. That does not fit into this life. But this can be very hard, deceiving yourself of the truth, deceiving yourself that there isn't, some sort of higher calling to all of our lives. That's painful, And this 6 of Swords is really just saying the swords have been put down. The swords have been put down. They've been laid to rest. You have cut the things that no longer are going to serve you, and you are moving forward. You're moving forward to this rainbow. And that's followed by this Death. Transformation. Oh my goodness. Yes, by the Fool. So you have completely just let go. let go of the things that have not served you. And maybe you're still in this process. Maybe you're still kind of, in the process of shedding that skin. It's kind of like a snake shedding its old skin, right? Like you're in the process of removing the things that do not serve you well, the things that are holding you back. These 7 of Swords, you're shedding that. You're shedding that. You're making your way through this passage, through the 6 of Swords to this rainbow, and death, the transformation card, it's a beautiful card. It's not an easy card by any means, but it's important. It's so important as a human to be able to shed the things that just don't serve you. And the Fool was right behind it. Look at that cute little ducky, right? Standing on a branch, ready to jump off into this pool of water. This poor little duck has never swam before, And it's just trusting. It's trusting that when it steps off that ledge, when it moves forward, that it's just going to know what to do next. That's really what the Fool card is saying, is just have faith. Have faith that where you are going, that what you have been called to do, what you have been called to become, that next step is just going to be underneath your feet when you take it. That's what the Fool card is saying. Okay, so we're going to pull some energy oracles now. What are the energies for the collective on this reading? Spirit, what are the energies that the collective needs to be aware of for this reading? What are the energies directly involving the collective? Deceit. Okay, so this could be your self-deceit. This could be deceiving of others. Maybe you have people who are totally against this whole, new you, new growth, You remember, nobody puts boo in the corner. No. Door to personal healing and happiness. And the 4th chakra. That's your heart chakra. Okay? So, let's get a clarity on this deceit. So can we get a clarity on this deceit card? What is the deceiving the collective? What is deceiving this collective? What is causing this deceit in the collective's life? What is causing this deceit? What is causing this deceit? Oh boy. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Rest and rejuvenation and the healer of ages. Tell me who you think that is. Not here to preach religion, so I won't shove it down your throat, but let me tell you, I am a believer, and that man right there, he is the answer to your problems. So I think you're just, you yourself, this deceit, this isn't necessarily anybody else. This is you yourself deceiving yourself, and I think sometimes as humans we think, okay, but I'm strong enough, I know where I'm going, and I can do this on my own, but you can't. We can't. There is a need to call for a higher power, and not that we don't show up every day, not that we don't put in, the work and the hard effort. That, yes, that necessarily comes for us, but the peace and the peace and the encouragement, that peace and that balance of, yes, okay, I'm moving forward, but I'm moving forward as a balanced whole human. That only comes from this healer of ages. It really does. And rest and rejuvenation was in there. So this is, take the time. Look at how this man is he is meditating. He is finding his own. And that is so important. Everybody is going to have their own journey. Everybody's going to have their own spin to things. And that's fine. That there's nothing wrong with that. But figure out how to do it that is best serving your higher purpose, right? This is a door to personal healing and happiness. So this journey is really where you are going to find that sustainable life force. You are going to find life is never easy, and it's not going to be beautiful. Like, it's not going to be like this gorgeous garden every day. If only, holy smokes, that would be a dream. It's not. And there's always going to be really, really hard parts to our, to our days, to our lives. Like, that's just how it goes. But to have a solid foundation, to really have something firm to fall back on, I think that's where you're going to find this door to personal healing and happiness. You really are. And that 4th chakra was behind it. And that's your heart chakra. Okay. So like, there's that need to love that's, you know, I think sometimes even as humans, we're so, okay, well, I've done so many bad things and whatever the case may be, there's no way that I have any sort of divine higher purpose, or I'm hurt. I'm closed off, you know, shit hasn't gone my way. If there's a God, then why the hell has he, you know, allowed all these big, you know, horrible bad things to happen? Because free will is something that he gave all of us, you know? And that is just something, free will is something that as human beings we have been given, so, you know, as a free gift. So you have your free will. The people in your life who are directly, you know, affecting your life, they have free will too. And that is nothing that anybody controls other than that individual. So I think sometimes it's hard for us to want to, you know, really move forward in some sort of spiritual connection, just because I think sometimes our hearts have been hurt. Our hearts have been hurt thinking that, okay, but if there is this higher power, why did I have to go through this? There is no answer for that. There isn't. Life is really shitty. We have all had some horrible things go on. Horrible things that shake you to your core, that rip your heart out, that, you know, really just make you reevaluate where you stand in life, right? And it is a common thing. It is a common thing to shut your heart off from any sort of spiritual guidance. That's normal, especially after, you know, after you've gone through something extremely painful and you're just like, I can't even imagine talking to some sort of higher power because I'm just so pissed off at that higher power right now, you know? This is saying opening your heart. Open your heart. Just let that wall down, you know? Any other last messages from this energy oracle deck? Any last messages, Spirit, for the collective on this reading? Any last messages? Okay, your first chakra. So that's your root chakra. That is the very base of who you are. You know, that is where your family, your family, I guess, your religion, like those are the things. It's your root. I don't know. Imagine being a tree, right? And your roots like are, you know, deep in all of the soil, and they've grown, and that's your roots chakra. And the goddess of the moon was behind, and this woman, she's almost like the high priestess in a tarot deck, right? Like she's so intuitive, and she is so connected to the divine. She is just so in tune with where she is going, and whether that's not a direction, it's not like she has, you know, okay, well, I'm doing this, and this, and this, and this way. No. She's open, and she's just like, okay, where am I going from here? Give me a little direction, you know? She's waiting for those. She's waiting for the moon, and the moon, you know, it has shadows, and it's, you know, and it's kind of maybe not quite as direct. You know, there comes a lot of silence and a lot of stillness, you know, in moon cards, of just waiting to see what comes from the shadows. And I think this this goddess of the moon is just like, you know, she's connected, and she's waiting to see what comes, you know, waiting to see what is being either asked of her, or, you know, where she can go from here. So the bottom of that deck was appreciation, community, sixth chakra, fifth chakra, holy smokes. If you maybe have never checked out Reiki, this might be something that you may be into. There's a lot of chakra cards coming up. Now, none of them are reversed, but clearing energies, you know, making sure that your chakras are all in line and everything is moving well, you know, that energy is moving all the way through your body. That's a pretty important thing. And anyway, I got sidetracked there, but this appreciation, right? A law of attraction. You know, by the things that you appreciate, and by the things that you are grateful and thankful for, you bring more of those things back in. And I think it's really important when we are, you know, when we're starting out a new spiritual journey and stuff, it is important to be grateful for where you are. You know, even if it's baby steps, just be grateful that you are, you know, showing up every day, or that, you know, you had that, there's like that moment of like clarity and you're kind of like, that was weird. But it was actually like, really, if you think about it, it's more of a divine, you know, a divine guidance, like a divine reassurance. They're there in your everyday life. It's just a matter of being appreciative of those moments. And the more you appreciate those moments and the more you appreciate those signs, the more you will begin to see them. The more you will definitely be able to feel and see, you know, the guidance, really. Okay, so we're pulling some angel cards here. Angels, what do you have to tell? What do you have to say to the collective today? This is a message for the collective with this reading. Spiritual journey. Thank you, Spirit. Compassion. Compassion. Soften your heart with respect to this situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So that, you know, kind of brings back the king, you know, that Seven of Wands. You know, maybe you are so, you know, you've started this new journey and you are just feeling alive with all this passion and fire on this new, brand new cup that you're bringing forth. And you know, people around you are just like, I don't get it, right? Because unless you're open to it, the rest of us sound sometimes pretty crazy when we're like, yeah, but you won't even believe this. Like, just open your eyes, you know? And the rest, the people who are still afraid to, you know, actually like see that, they just think we're crazy. But we're not at all. Life review. Take inventory of your life to resolve and change or heal anything that is unbalanced. And like I said before, you know, with that Temperance card, life is about balance. You know? Like it is. So life review. And you are safe. This is Archangel Michael. And he is saying, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you and your loved ones and home. And that's a big one. I think sometimes that we're like, you know, I myself some days, you know, will have days where I'm like, I'm rocking it and I'm on fire and I'm feeling all this passion and feeling all the creativity. And I'm like, yes, I am on my higher powers and I'm going the way I'm supposed to be going. And then all of a sudden the next day you wake up and you're like blasted with low energy vibrations, you know, and they just come out of the middle of nowhere. It doesn't even have to be, you know, it could just be you wake up, you stub your toe, you know, something silly like that. You come downstairs, the dog's ripped open your garbage. I say this because my dogs do that more than not, you know, and it's those low vibration energies that all of a sudden you start feeling like bombarded with. And then you're like, oh, what is the whole point? You know, here I'm supposed to be, I'm working on being this better person. And, you know, I'm just being slammed with all this low vibration shit. And I hear ya. Well, Michael is saying you're safe. You know, even that stubbed toe, don't worry. It'll feel better, you know, in a day or two. Probably not. Mine always take a couple days. But this is really saying that you are safe in this journey. You know, keep going forward. Don't let the fears of other people or the rejection or people's, you know, negative shit affect your decision. Because only you know your journey. Only you know what is actually making you feel great and wonderful on the inside, right? Only you know that. Okay, so the last deck that we're going to pull from is the Good Tarot. And I'm going to read the affirmations for this one right out of the book. I absolutely love the affirmations of this book. I'll probably say that in almost every single one of my videos too. But I really do. So we're going to pull 1, 2, or 3. Spirit, what are the affirmations? I'm going with 3 today. Thank you, Spirit. Not 5. A lot that flew out after that, but we're not taking those ones. We'll be here all day reading. We are going to take those ones right off the bottom of the deck because, yeah, we are. The 3 that I pulled, they just, they were sitting there. They were missing their buddies. I didn't understand. Okay, so the ones that you got were the Queen of Water, Patience, Tower. There's your Tower. This does not have to be, you know, Tower moments, I think, for the first little bit when I started, kind of peeking into tarot cards a little bit and, doing this and that, the Tower card scared the shit out of me. It did, because I was like, oh my gosh, what could possibly be falling? What could possibly be breaking down now, right? The Tower doesn't necessarily have to be a life-changing, crumbling thing. No, the Tower can be simply an aha moment, where the thought processes that you have been going have all of a sudden just, kind of crumbled and shed, and you're standing there with this beautiful new, thought process. In a reading that I was watching last week, she had claimed, it was a horoscope reading, and she was just like, Libra, you are a walking tower right now. And I was like, yes, I am. I am a walking tower, because the things that aren't serving me, I don't want to take them. I'm crumbling that shit. I'm crumbling the illusions of what I think it has to be. Because what I think it has to be is a very small segment of the actual big plan. And I am really working on opening my eyes to just having faith. I'm not going to see the bigger plan. Free will in that changes that stuff every single day. You can never see a master big free will plan. That's just, it's not possible. But by constantly being in that, that steady, solid, like, I can rebuild myself. I can be anew again and again. When I come to a certain point and this is no longer serving me, I'm not afraid to let these walls crumble and to come forward as this even new, bigger, brighter being, okay? So anyway, after that Tower was the transformation card. So this is, in this deck it's transformation, but this is the Death card, right? This is you transforming. Oh my goodness. The Two of Wands, the Two of Fire, and that was at the bottom of your deck. And the Star card, your wishing card, honey. Oh, okay. Let's read these affirmations. Okie dokie. So the Queen of Water. I am comfortable in my own skin. I love, cherish, and nurture myself. I am the best friend to myself. My relationship with others reflect my security in knowing I am always worthy of love and respect. I heal myself so I can be the change I want to see in the world, so my compassion can inspire others. That's pretty cool. Patience was after that. And patience is saying, this card reminds me that patience will bring me into recognition of an alignment to my purpose. All my needs are met, even though I may not see it yet in the outer world, in the outer visible world. The angels are looking out for me. Moderation in all things is required right now. And the Tower. Things happen really fast when this card shows up in a reading. Its appearance could portend a total paradigm shift or a sudden upheaval that takes something away in order for something better to take its place. It could be that I've had an epiphany. Whatever it is, this card tells me unexpected events will be very interesting and offer opportunities for positive transformation if I remain present with my eyes open. So, and I think that was, I missed that when I was, going on about my ramble about the Tower moment. This Tower moment will only become positive. In this Tower moment, you're only going to see the light of the Tower moment if your eyes remain open to that. If you close them off and you're afraid of it, no, not so much. Transformation. Nothing remains the same, and I need to accept that life evolves through cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Now is a time of transition as things are changing from one form to another. I need to allow this to happen for the highest good. I am called to let go of the old so I can welcome the new. Guys, you're right there. You really are. You are so, I'm so inspired for you. Okay, the Two of Fire. Whenever I can't see how my dreams will coalesce into form, I trust in the process of co-creation and engage more deeply in the process of envisioning something new. I have already started to make progress, and my passions will attract the perfect situation for me. The light of spirit helps me to see my way, and I feel the universe aligning to bring me what I need. That's just trusting. That's trusting that by going out there and doing that, you know. And the Star card. I am hopeful and inspired by life right now, and everything that happens points to a renewed sense of encouragement. After all the changes I have experienced, I am starting to recognize that hope comes with new beginnings. That's so important. And there was so many. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of those 6 were major arcana cards. So this is happening, and this is now, and this is a big one. You know, you need to be paying attention. This is not something that you can just be like, oh, okay, well, I'll look into that in, you know, a month or so. No, baby. No, this is happening now. This is coming. This is a huge transformation for you. This is a huge shift in who you are and where you're going. And, you know, just be open to it. Be open to it. Be constantly looking, you know, and for that next piece of information to help you, you know, to just keep encouraging you. So that is it for today's reading. I'm so excited. I really am. Your growth and this cup of, you know, your Ace of Cups here, you know, and you're so ready to have that cup filled up. So let that come, you know, let all of the goodness just come into that cup. Be open to having your cup filled. Okay, that is it for today. Goodbye, my sweet friends. Take care of yourselves. Be gentle with yourselves. You know, and just, go forward from here and just keep kicking ass, really. All right. See ya next time. Bye now.